Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Although I had a horrendous match day 2 prediction video, we got to move on to match day 3. The first one wasn't terrible. I got 50 points, just missed a few games, not bad overall. But second one, I only got 29 and there were some howlers. Sporting Tottenham being one of them. Atletico Madrid at the end losing to Leverkusen. I should have banked more on Club Bruges. I had a feeling that they would do something against Porto. I was just too afraid to go all out. That was my biggest problem. Every time I predicted some kind of quote-unquote upset, I was too afraid to go all out and I just went for a draw. Another example, Juventus Benfica. And the one time I was gonna get a draw right, I literally had 0-0 for Copenhagen Sevilla in my video. I asked you guys on one of my streams if I should change this and you all said yes. You know what, looking back, I can't blame myself too much on some of these. It was close from time to time, but yeah, not a match day to remember. Gotta pick myself back up for match day 3. Guys, please leave another like. Let's try to hit 1,000 likes on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, let me know your predictions in the comments below. This match day, we got a lot of interesting ones. If you haven't joined this league already on the Champions League Predictor website, I will leave a link to that in the description below. Now, keep in mind, I am recording this video right after the international break ended. So I haven't actually seen any of these teams play this weekend. So maybe I will change these, but here are my early thoughts regardless. Let's start out with Marseille versus Sporting. Sporting at the top with 2 wins. Marseille at the bottom with 2 losses. This is a massive match for both of them. For either Sporting to continue their momentum, amazing stuff by the way, or for Marseille to make a comeback. It's going to be a really tough task for Marseille to bounce back from this. They are at home though, and I think with Mbemba in the back, who is somewhat familiar with Sporting actually, they could make a mini comeback. I don't mean to sleep on Sporting whatsoever. In fact, I have them at second in my overall predictions for this group. But I'm going to go with Marseille winning this match 2-1 over Sporting. Now for Bayern Munich versus Viktoria Plzeň. Bayern not up to par in the Bundesliga, but in the UCL, they're doing bits. They beat one of their bigger competitors, Barcelona. They already faced Inter Milan and beat them as well. Now they're facing, on paper, the weakest side in the group. Poor Viktoria Plzeň. Look at that. Everybody's expecting Bayern Munich to go out with the goals in this match, and I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to have to go with that common prediction, 4-0 for Bayern Munich. Now for Frankfurt versus Tottenham. As we all know, Tottenham had that heavy blow to Sporting in the dying minutes as well. They really need to come back from this because they are the favorites in this group that they're in. With the amazing transfer window they had, you're probably watching this after the North London Derby, but I'm going to say they're able to do the job in Frankfurt, though. I will go for a 2-0 win for Tottenham. Now for Inter Milan versus Barcelona. Barcelona looking to come back after losing to Bayern Munich, and this match is going to be massive. Many people ruling out Inter Milan. Their defense is surprisingly not looking as great as we know it to usually be. Barcelona also suffering through loads of injuries such as Koundé in the back, Orayo as well, Frankie de Jong, Memphis Depay, Hector Bellerin. But Inter Milan also have some crucial injuries as well. Brozovic got injured during the international break. Çalhanoğlu's out. I might sound absolutely biased saying this, but I think missing Brozovic will not help Inter Milan's case whatsoever in this match. I'm going to say that Barcelona are victorious in this, and it's a pretty hefty victory away as well. I'm going for 3-1. Now for Club Bruges versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid getting upset to Leverkusen. Will it happen again? Club Bruges with the massive victory against Porto. They beat them 4-0. I told you guys since the beginning to not sleep on Club Bruges in this Champions League season. And right now, they're looking to cause damage. With so many solid attackers up front looking absolutely electric, they can definitely cause problems to Atletico Madrid right now. I'm going to say Atletico Madrid are disappointed once again, and it finishes 2-1 for Club Bruges. Now for Porto versus Bayern Leverkusen. Leverkusen looking a bit more hopeful now after beating Atletico Madrid, but Porto desperately need to come out of their rut. I'm going to say they do, but it's a close game though, 2-1. Maybe we'll see both Iranians score though, Taremi versus Azmoun. Now for Ajax versus Napoli. Now this is actually a huge match. Ajax are looking to redeem themselves after losing to Liverpool in the dying minutes. They're putting up fantastic fights. They already beat Rangers by loads of goals. They can easily make a comeback, but Napoli, I think right now in the attack, absolutely mean business. They also just beat Rangers by loads of goals. They're first in the Serie A at the time of this recording, and they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon, with Kvicha absolutely balling out. At first from the transfer window, this side looked like they were not in good shape, but they actually picked up a lot of signings to somewhat strengthen them and give them more energy. This is a really tough one actually. Can't sleep on Ajax at the moment. Still putting up great fights even when they lose. But Napoli are 2 for 2 right now, and they recently smashed Liverpool. I think this one's going to be cagey, close, and I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1. Now for Liverpool versus Rangers. So far, everybody's been demolishing Rangers. This match is being played at Anfield. Liverpool not having the most convincing season, but it's still Liverpool, guys. I think we will be seeing loads of goals for the Reds. and I'm going to go for 3-0. Maybe Rangers will end up getting out of that rut at some point, but I think at the first half of this Champions League, they will continue to struggle. Now for Leipzig versus Celtic. Leipzig probably the favorites on paper, but this one ain't easy to call. They definitely have not been at their best. Before the international break started, they lost to Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-0. They also got destroyed from Shakhtar on the first match day 4-1. Leipzig desperately need this win. It's not now or never per se, but it might as well be. They definitely got to go into that mindset, and I think they will. They got some phenomenal players that I think will be able to redeem themselves after this international break. Maybe we'll see Timo Werner back scoring goals or Christopher Nkunku. I'm going to go for a narrow victory here. Celtic put off a good fight, but it finishes 2-1. Now for Salzburg versus Dinamo Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb with that Chelsea upset in the beginning, then losing to AC Milan. Their goal was pretty impressive against the Italian club, though. They still got outplayed, unfortunately. But maybe Dinamo can bring themselves back here. This is a side between the underdogs of this group, and they both can definitely potentially squeeze out. This really is a massive one for both clubs, and they'll be disappointed if they end up drawing, because both of them really need to take advantage of getting points out of this one. Some of Salzburg's players have been in tremendous form. I'm a bit worried for Dinamo. Šeško scoring against Norway and Sweden. Okafor has been phenomenal. Luka Sucic is an absolute baller. This is a really tough one, man. Oršić has also been absolutely balling out in the Champions League so far. Dinamo Zagreb are going to want to continue that momentum. I'm torn. My brain wants to say a draw, but my heart wants to say Dinamo Zagreb. I'm going to give Dinamo the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say they come out victorious, even if they're away. They will win once again, 1-0. Now for Benfica versus PSG. Benfica just beating Juventus in style. PSG just beating Maccabi Haifa. Looks like some people are expecting PSG to come out with loads of goals, but I don't think it's going to be that easy for them. I think Benfica will make them struggle a bit. Can't ignore PSG's phenomenal attack at the moment, though. Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar all in fantastic form. But you know what? I'm going to say they struggle a little bit here. They're away. I think Benfica will be motivated, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Benfica looked a little bit tired before the Juventus match, but it's like that match brought them back to life. They won 5-0 after that, and I think they will make PSG struggle just this one time. Now for Juventus versus Maccabi Haifa. Maccabi Haifa clear underdogs in this, but they have been impressive somewhat. For Juventus, it's not the case. They really have been struggling, with Allegri still in charge as well. I don't know. I don't know if I can expect a lot of goals out of this. I'm going to say Juventus do go back to winning ways here. I'll go for that popular 2-0 pick, but I don't think it's going to be a convincing display. But yeah, we'll see if Maccabi Haifa can prove me wrong. I already doubted them in the qualifiers. Maybe they'll do it again. Now for Sevilla versus Borussia Dortmund. Sevilla really with the terrible start to the season. They are somewhat redeeming themselves, but it's still not enough. Draw against Copenhagen 0-0. Draw against Villarreal 1-1. Borussia Dortmund also had their little dips this season, but they did put off a good fight against Manchester City, and they look to mean business in this Champions League. I'm going to say Sevilla are still in a rut, and Dortmund grab a 2-0 win. Now for Manchester City versus Copenhagen. Copenhagen, prove me wrong, but I think it's going to be one of those massive scorelines. You know what? I'll be ambitious and go for 5-0. Manchester City on absolute fire. Erling Haaland is going to want to add to his UCL count here. Best of luck, Copenhagen. Now for Real Madrid versus Shakhtar. We've seen this matchup a decent amount of times in recent history. Shakhtar coming up with some upsets. Can they do it this time, though? They lost a lot of international players, but that seems to not matter. Still pulling through with Alexa Mudryk. Real Madrid being Real Madrid, though. UCL is in their blood. I don't see them losing this. Maybe they'll concede once, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory for Real Madrid. If Shakhtar prove me wrong, though, they will top the group over Real Madrid, though. So that would be massive. Best of luck to them. But I think Real Madrid got it. And last but not least, Chelsea versus AC Milan. Actually going to be a very interesting match. Chelsea, now they got Potter in charge. He was still only able to grab a draw against Salzburg. However, those attackers that have been struggling this season looked solid in the Nations League. I'm talking about Havertz and Mason Mount. That matchup, Germany against England, they both got on the score sheet. Havertz with a banger as well. Mount's goal was pretty clean too. And Chelsea really need to pick up the pace because they only have 1 point in the Champions League so far. AC Milan with 4. This group's going to be so interesting. Can Chelsea do it at the Stamford Bridge? It's a must. AC Milan probably the favorites for many since Chelsea have been very shaky. But I'm going to say Chelsea come out of this rut. I'm going to say this is an exciting goal-scoring thriller. It finishes 3-2. Chelsea win at the Stamford Bridge. We'll see if AC Milan can complete the comeback next time around, if this result is true. But who knows? I think this one is really 50-50 to call. It really can go either way. I'm going to say Chelsea start to build the momentum here, and the rest of their UCL campaign is not as dreadful as it was earlier. So yeah, guys, those are my final match day 3 predictions. Thank you all for making it to the end. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Like I said, Join this league. I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care. Boa noite.